Hello, good evening. Today, the 26th of November 2023, to present Camnet Television main news. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. The top stories in the news tonight: Zambia Railways passenger train collides with a SINOMA truck. KAFUE Youth Resource Center students stranded. Members of Parliament demand more CDF allocation to their constituencies. In international news, Sierra Leone declares nationwide curfew after gunmen attack military barracks. And in sports news, Oriental QUARRIES boxing promotion budget constraints ahead of hosting the African Boxing Union tournament. These and more stories coming up after this short break.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Hello again, the news in detail. Over 100 people destined for Southern Province have spent a night in the cold after a passenger train collided with a haul truck belonging to SINOMA. Eyewitnesses have told Camnet News that the accident occurred when the truck driver failed to stop at a railway crossing despite noting the train approaching. Meanwhile, Zambia Railways acting public relations manager Sombe Ngonga has confirmed the accident and says no death has been recorded. By broadcast time, the Zambia Railways was still making arrangements to repatriate all the passengers to their respective destinations by bus. Details in this report.
About 100 people have spent their night in the cold after a Zambia Railways passenger train and a haul truck and trailer belonging to SINOMA collided in KAFUE at CONSTITUENCIES railway crossing point. Some of the passengers of the train who were destined for Southern Province told the Camnet TV news crew that the accident happened when the truck driver attempted to overtake the train, which approached CONSTITUENCIES railway crossing point after overtaking 3 stationary vehicles which had given way to the train. The accident happened on Saturday 25th November 2023 at around 20:15 hours.
Tinamvera chabe train yamboliza uta tipo for 3 minutes. Pamene vinachitika ive tamvera chabe tipo train yabora sunka na maningi funo kugwa konzi. 3 times ndiye pamene tinachoka panja babora vatiuza ati awe train yapunka muli truck. Nenenda kumazaboka. Ndiye mwamene vakambira but kulibe vamene vyoyoneka vamene vichitika vakamba chabe kuchoka kuseni.
Katikati hapa tinamvera chabe chongo kusogoro. Then mvera chabe ati truck yangena mu train. So ndiye kubwa kwa chani chimutu na truck imoza.
So apa ulendo wa manjo libwanyi.
Ulendo watu hapa bati gonzera transport. So bafuna atende kuchoma na mabasi. Wamene zorongo ni wa truck. Because train enzo liza vote. Manje even afuna cross. So ndiye ali na problem.
Twachisamba kubutuka nomba twachira muno ko twarafu mina kai twacha chaba one side so kula chachwera one side twachisama kurianga chakwirikanishwafu so twachira rusho kumina kwa mawindi like ile truck yaisa umapa pari tanki for achimini ko twachambo kurabu tukofuma parapeli for tufumine kusuka tuswiki file twaisa umfatu abachikwata ma serious injuries but there were no, it's only my internal injuries. I snatched ended down. There were only my internal injuries. So apata mene tuembekiza batuza bari ruzati mabase ya bwera.
Meanwhile, Zambia Railways acting public relations manager Sombe Ngonga confirmed the accident and disclosed that no deaths were recorded. She also told this journalist that the accident resulted in 2 locomotives capsizing and one of the passenger coaches tilting on the side. Ms. Ngonga is concerned that rail crossing point accidents are increasing and appealed to motorists to observe traffic rules.
ZAMBIA Railways Limited regrets to announce the accident involving a southbound passenger train and a truck and trailer that occurred at KAFUE's CONSTITUENCIES level crossing last evening around 20 hours. Fortunately, there were no fatalities recorded. We are actually concerned with the increasing number of level crossing accidents as a result of motorists willfully disobeying the traffic rules. An earnest appeal is made to motorists to observe traffic rules for their own safety and other road and rail users.
By broadcast time, the Zambia Railways was still making arrangements to repatriate all the passengers to their respective destinations by bus, while the driver of the truck was reportedly seeking medical attention at the University Teaching Hospital, UTH. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, KAFUE.
Youths at KAFUE Resource Center in KAFUE district of Lusaka province have lamented over poor infrastructure at the facility. In an interview with Camnet News, the students have explained that they were enrolled under the 2023 Constituency Development Funds CDF, but that the school has no running water, proper toilets and learning infrastructure. The students claim that the school management has also failed to provide them with lectures, but were only told to go on attachments and not return, but wait to only write examinations. Meanwhile, school acting principal David Chimfwembe, when contacted, says the students were told not to return to school due to infrastructure concerns, but that some students decided to defy the directive by returning into school. More in this report.
One meal of is all that these students at KAFUE Youth Resource Center will have the whole day. These are students who have been enrolled under the Constituency Development Fund CDF skills bursaries to undertake various skills programs, among them general hospitality, auto mechanics, plumbing, power electrical, ICT, general agriculture, and driving. The students have, however, lamented that the school environment has not been conducive and feel the school is duping government of the CDF resources.
The first 1 month we were not learning because we couldn't see any lecturers around. When they started coming also, the learning wasn't consistent. They would come maybe twice in a week, once in a week. From there, on the 1st September, we were sent for attachments, of which we went. Then we were told to report back on the 20th of November 2023. The days before that, maybe 5 days before 20th, we were given a notice to say, no, you shouldn't come back here because of the infrastructure. It is not safe for you people. So we asked why. In the first place, why did they allow us to come here if they know that the infrastructure is not safe?
As for me, I applied using the Lusaka trade application, but they refused me and then told me to say, can you attach this acceptance letter so that they can pick you first.
Tilibena manyumba kuna dormitories yatu niyo choka and malai too even don't have power. They didn't mention about power. The power we are just using solar. Sometimes we find that there is no power. Charging our phones is a problem.
While infrastructure is still under construction at the facility, students on the other hand claim they are being illegally enrolled using CDF resources and being kept in a deplorable infrastructure.
Infrastructure you're seeing behind here, that's the boys' dormitory, and next door is the girls' dormitory. This is where we sleep as students, really close and dangerous. The infrastructure is not properly built.
They were promising, but the chicken, look at the chicken. This is a man-made chicken. This is a man-made chicken, no effort at all. We just built the iron sheets there and then started cooking that side because we have no ideas, no plans on how the CDF money is working from now on.
The students now want the government to investigate what they term an illegality by the school management.
So the government officials, when they come, they know that building there. They don't know that actually students are able to repano. They don't know that part. And the sad part is that we have engaged the DC. These people, it's like they have backup. They know how they deal with this CDF money. Kuyambira kuliva DC, vakansela, avanani, they eat the money together. Because in the group, even if we tell them to say, no, we are going to add the DC in this group, our principal, they are not even shaken because they know it's the system, they have a backup. So no wonder we are appealing to the president himself to come on board, to come and help us. So that we say, CDF. Because these people, they don't have a heart for humanity. You can just imagine, look at the surrounding. Some of us have stayed in the society for 8 years. 2014 when I completed school because of lack of financial support. Yet this program has come. But look at what they are doing.
Meanwhile, school acting principal David Chimfwembe, when contacted, informed this reporter that the students were told not to report for school after their industrial attachments due to infrastructure concerns, but that some students decided to defy the directive.
I can confirm that the school is not yet opened. Those who had adhered to our instructions that they should not report, they haven't even reported. But for those you have seen there at the institution, those are, in fact, I'm surprised that they are still even there, because the instruction was given to them that please do not report. The infrastructure is not yet conducive for your stay at the moment.
These students are not the first to be enrolled in such kind of infrastructure, as they are the third intake, and their fate now remains with the intervention from the relevant authorities. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Some rural constituency members of parliament have appealed to President Hakainde Hichilema to consider allocating the Constituency Development Funds (CDF) according to the developmental needs of constituencies. Pemba Member of Parliament Lamek Hamwata says while acknowledging that CDF is a game changer, the rural constituencies should be given more resources than those that are already developed. The United Party for National Development CDF has increased the Constituency Development Fund CDF from 1.6 million kwacha under the Patriotic Front PF to now 30.6 million kwacha for each constituency. More in this report.
The Constituency Development Fund CDF program has facilitated the putting up of new water, health, security and education facilities in all parts of the country, including areas that were usually overlooked during fund allocation in the national budget. Under the United Party for National Development UPND government, CDF has been increased from 1.6 million to 2022, then to 28.3 million kwacha in 2023, and now to 30.6 million kwacha in the 2024 national budget. Some rural constituency members of parliament, like Pemba's Lamek Hamwata and Chikankata's Jacqueline Sabao, have described CDF as a game changer.
We are constructing a boarding school. We also constructed a food storage shed for our people. We also bought some desks for our children. Like we all know that it's one of the policies of the New Dawn government that no child will sit on the floor, because children should be given equal opportunities. The government has already given us free education, so under the CDF we are procuring desks so that come 2025 to 2026, no child will sit on the floor. Hence, as people of Chikankata, we appreciate the policy direction made by His Excellency, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, of increasing the CDF.
How do you find the skilled manpower? We bring in this component of skills training, where we are going to train the bricklayers, train the plumbers, train electricians, train painters. Now, when these graduate, now we are reaching a stage where we want to encourage these youths who have been trained in those fields to form companies. And once they form companies, there is another component that is going to support them. Which component is that? The youth and women empowerment, where they can get a loan, even a 200,000, get a 40-pin, buy equipments.
The lawmakers, however, have appealed to President Hakainde Hichilema to consider allocating the Constituency Development Funds (CDF) according to the developmental needs of the constituencies.
Ask our president also to consider the way these districts are developed. Maybe when we are allocating CDF, we should also look at the levels of development of these districts and constituencies in our country. Because you can't give someone the same share. You are giving someone who is hungry and someone who had lunch and breakfast. You give them the same share. I think there's also an issue where in future, as a government, we need to reconsider, to look at the development percentages of those areas so that we are at the same level come maybe after 10, 20 years from now. Because what we want is this country to be developed regardless of where you are.
We need to lift the rural, at least to get closer to what is in town. That's how you actually spread your development. You don't concentrate in one area. You need rural areas. They need roads also. They deserve to have roads. They need electricity. They need clean water. It is mostly in the rural areas where you find people, they drink water from shallow wells together with the pigs, animals, so to call them. We need to take development there. I think that is my answer. We need more resources in rural areas than in town, so that these also who are behind, we can bring them to some level.
The Constituency Development Fund, CDF, has enabled grassroots participation in development decisions, which aligns with the country's commitment to decentralized development and its aspirations for climate-compatible growth. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
The National Action for Quality Education in Zambia, NAKEZ, says 2024 looks hopeless for teachers' improved conditions of service. NAKEZ Executive Director Aaron Chansa says the 550 kwacha salary increment proposed by government across the board is a drop in the ocean and will not make economic sense for teachers. Dr. Chansa adds that teachers expected a reasonable increase in their salaries in order for them to afford the ever-rising cost of living. The Civil Service Union had in the past 2 weeks engaged in collective bargaining with the government to have the salaries of their members increased by over 10% in 2024.
After reading and carefully analyzing the outcome of the recently held collective bargaining between government and teacher unions for improved conditions of service for our teachers, National Action for Quality Education in Zambia is disappointed and has seen no hope in the teachers for 2024. And this is because we think that the 550 kwacha increment is not economically making sense. This country is witnessing the ever-rising cost of living, and teachers across the country expected much better than what we have seen. And instead of concentrating on the matters which have afflicted teachers for many years, such as upgrades and also confirmations, we are shocked that government and teacher unions were utterly silent over these matters, and this is going to affect the morale of our teachers. Teachers deserve better. And in our view, this is a missed opportunity to motivate our teachers. Our teachers, most of them have been waiting to be motivated, to be appreciated for what they do, and we are not happy that this process failed to reach the mark as expected by our teachers across the country.
Muchinga Province Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungule has thanked the World Bank Group for uplifting the living standards of the community through the Triland project in the project catchment area. Mr. Mukungule has however appealed to the World Bank to consider releasing more funds so that the climate resilient project can be replicated in other districts that were left out in the region. The World Bank Group Global Director of Environment, Natural Resources and Blue Economy, Valerie Hickey, has visited Mpika district of Muchinga Province, where she has experienced firsthand some of the Triland projects being implemented by the Zambian government with the bank's support.
Bantu impiyesho batupela ba World Bank sikupitira muri batwala na shifula elo shite tutwala pantanshi kanshi chitureka bila abanenso abale chimonako nabo kuti basambilirako moneni insta idatwale ona ulamuko cha mara chono kuta yena na ifumapo ya insta kuti mwayemona kwisa ture ba magarden mpanga mkocha marasha mkona ule miti ngafintu bamwene mkwai tuleli mama garden umu umwa tulimine muri miti tatule kwatobona ushubwako na ule miti icho na ule ona ule kuti bamona na tulimamwa amataba mulyano omusaru na tomato umwa buloku puta ule miti nguko na ula
twale ona ule miti ukocha malashi umomo tatwasangira kantu nangu kamo lero twashire sangwa kuchimono batufunda tumwene mo bunoshi bukalamba sana nempia bali tufandinga umomo tukwete apyali ngefe mumwene twakwatengo na meshi tanki ngefe mwaisho kuchira imiti sisungirira meshi
akishakwete twakutina nabo I got to see in action the World Bank's mission, which is about ending poverty on a livable planet. And that's what the people here in villages and cooperatives in partnership with the government is doing. They're bringing their traditional practices together with modern science, with good practice, to build better lives for themselves and their family. I've been particularly impressed by the women's groups.
Sure, they have seen what is going on in the province and what their money is able to do to lifting the livelihoods of our people. And just wish to appeal for more funding and extending the services to other districts that are not receiving anything.
Second Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Moyo, has challenged parliamentarians to provide policy and legislative direction that will amplify the need in the education and health services for learners through the newly established Parliamentary Caucus on School Health. Speaking during the inception meeting of the Parliamentary Caucus on School and Health Saturday, Mr. Moyo notes that the relationship between education and health cannot be disconnected, hence the need for lawmakers to put their political interests aside. Meanwhile, Healthy Learners Chief Executive Officer LEONE has disclosed that the partnership with parliamentarians aims at addressing the underlying causes of ill health among the learners, such as food insecurity, poor access to health services, poor access to water and sanitation, among others. Here's a report.
A well-educated population is essential to stimulate economic growth, provide effective public service, and reduce poverty. Zambia has made significant gains to expand access to education and has steadily increased primary school enrollment. Despite this progress, poor learning outcomes and regional disparities persist. In order to increase learners' performance in the early grades, a parliamentary caucus on school health has been established. Opening the inception meeting in Lusaka, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Moyo, challenged parliamentarians to provide policy and legislative direction that will amplify the need to ensure quality education and health services for learners through the newly established Parliamentary Caucus on School Health.
In view of the importance of this caucus, you will be undertaking different challenges. I want to challenge you to offer a united voice through this caucus. It is gratifying to note that the Parliamentary Caucus on School Health has been established as a critical mechanism to help amplify the need to ensure quality education and health services for the learners through mitigating ill health, absenteeism, and provision of primary health care at school levels. Therefore, the need for parliamentarians to be actively involved in the provision of health services cannot be overemphasized, as Zambia's network of healthcare facilities is considered to be spare.
Their partners, Health Learners Chief Executive Officer LEONE disclosed that the partnership with parliamentarians aims to addressing the underlying causes of ill health among the learners, such as food insecurity, poor access to health services, poor access to water and sanitation, among others.
We hope to reach more than 2.5 million learners by 2028 over the next 4.5 years. This national expansion plan will help to further build capacity within district and provincial levels of the ministries to provide high-quality, cost-effective health services to all learners for increased reach and impact and greater program equity. But to achieve these important objectives, we need legislation to support the institutionalization of the program by allocating resources for long-term sustainability. In doing so, Zambia will further cement its position as a global leader in ensuring the health and education for all of its children.
Meanwhile, elected caucus chairperson, who is also its agitated member of parliament, Twambo Mutinta, assured that the parliamentarians will do everything possible to improve the school health services in the country.
As members of parliament in the Zambian parliament, we are committed to this cause, and our role shall be very clear, wanting to see that government deprecates this concept in the next few years to come, and also wanting to see that in our legislative roles, the roles should speak to the needs of the young people in the schools, and the laws that we make as parliamentarians should speak to the desire for the provision of quality education in our schools so that we safeguard the interests of our children and we have a better future for this country, Zambia.
In Zambia, education is regarded as a basic human right and considered vital to development. Not only does education empower people, but it gives them the knowledge and skills to broaden their economic and social opportunities. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
The Civil Society for Poverty Reduction, CSPR, says there is need to ensure that children's rights are respected and their welfare is equally protected. CSPR Board Representative Michael Hakufuna says children's parliaments serve as a platform for the children, for them to voice out some of the issues affecting them as youths. Mr. Hakufuna says there are a number of issues affecting children, which he says can only be addressed if the children themselves voice out. And Solwezi Mayor Remy Kalepa says the rights of children must importantly include the rights to be heard and to participate, especially in issues affecting them.
There is no duty more important than ensuring that children's rights are respected, that their welfare is protected, that their lives are free from fear, and that they can grow in peace. Ladies and gentlemen, the district children's parliament serves as a platform for the children in the communities so that they can voice out some of the issues affecting them as youths.
The rights of children must importantly include the right to be themselves and to participate, especially in issues affecting them. In this case, issues that are affecting you, the District Children's Parliament serves as a testament to the importance we place on nurturing the voices and aspirations of our youth.
The Media Liaison Committee has commended government's bold step to table the Access to Information ATI bill before Parliament. Committee Chairperson Ernest Chanda says once enacted, the bill will not only foster freedom of expression and democratic freedoms, but also give citizens an opportunity to participate in national matters as they will be adequately informed. Information and Media Minister Cornelius Mwetwa on Friday, the 10th of November 2023, presented the Access to Information Bill to the National Assembly for the first reading.
Information and Media Minister Cornelius Mwetwa on Friday, 10th November 2023, presented the Access to Information ATI Bill to the National Assembly for the first reading. The move by government has received kudos from the civil society. Media Liaison Committee has joined in commending government's bold step to table the Access to Information Bill before Parliament. Committee Chairperson Ernest Chanda says even though the bill may have lacunas, it needs enactment and that the lacunas will be polished in future.
This is the 21st year from the time it was withdrawn from the House in November 2002. It's exactly 21 years. And we are happy that it has gone back. Although some of the contents may not be that perfect, but I think it's very good that we can start. Even the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia was started from somewhere. And along the way, we've been amending it. Even the ATI Act, we are likely to amend it in the future. What is important is to enact it.
Mr. Chanda adds that the bill, once enacted, will give an opportunity to citizens to participate in matters of national interest.
People deserve to have access to information, public information that is of public interest. And no one should stop them. It means once that law is passed, certain other pieces have to be realigned to this law also, including some of the clauses that guide our courts of law, such as the holding of certain cases in camera, especially cases of public interest. like the one on the gold scandal. If we had the access to information law, that clause would have been, that ruling would have been challenged quite effectively. But in this case, there is nothing we can do.
Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
We'll take a break. Join us for more news after the break.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point-of-sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, 4th close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. We'll continue with the news. Western Province Minister Kapelwa Mbangweta has called on local residents in Kampombo area of Nkayema district to adopt the culture of seeking medical services unlike relying on traditional norms. Speaking during the handover ceremony of a health center at Kampombo, constructed by Japan Tobacco International at a cost of 750,000 kwacha, Mr. Mbangweta says the health center will enable easy access to medical services. The minister has, however, called on the government to consider putting up a maternity annex at the health facility and ensure the new recruited health personnel are sent to the health center. Meanwhile, JIT Nkayema Site Operations Manager Victor Kanchimbwe says the corporation is aimed at improving the well-being of families in Kampombo and its surrounding communities. Details in this report.
Access to quality health services is part of government's agenda as enshrined in Sustainable Development Goal number 3, which aims to prevent needless suffering from preventable diseases and premature death by focusing on key targets that boost the health of a country's overall population by 2030. However, despite having such targets, Zambia's rural healthcare services remain a challenge. To address this, Western Province Minister Kapelwa Mbangweta has called on the government to put up a maternity annex at a newly opened Kampombo health facility, which was constructed by Japan Tobacco International
at a cost of 750,000 kwacha and ensure the newly recruited health personnel are sent to the health center in Kehema district.
The fact that you are putting this facility here, you have shortened the distances to go for the local people to access medical facilities, as the chairman was indicating. Kamchale is very far from here. TB number 1 is very far from here. Munguye very far from here. So, by putting up this facility here, you never imagine what it means to the community and even to us, politicians who have been voted in by the community. Because it means then that the government is seen to be supporting and improving the livelihoods of the people.
Meanwhile, JIT Kehema Site Operations Manager Victor Kanchimbwe assured to partner with government in improving the well-being of families in Pombo area and its surrounding communities.
With this center, we have significantly reduced the walking distance from about 30 kilometers to within 5 kilometers to 7 kilometers radius. For me to share a little more about our community investment journey, which began in early 2012.
Zitabaze amana kamisebezi ya luna ya kuzuseza pili libaka molu sebeleza yeo ene lukalile kasilimo sa 2012.
The journey began with developing a closer working relationship with provincial and district government in Western Province.
And in Kehema District Health Director Dr. Simon Mundemba welcomed the gesture by Japan Tobacco International.
We never had a situation whereby places like Kanchale, we have close to 6-10 staff. One of the doctors is there, clinical officer, is even coming from there, all along from there, coming to attend to the event. There is 2 registered names. All these staffs, they are in that place called Kanchale. It never happened before. And I will tell my colleague who's there that you are coming here as a clinical officer.
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News.
Solwezi District Acting District Commissioner Anthony Fulwe has challenged young people who have attained skills development programs to create job opportunities for themselves, unlike waiting for government to employ them. Mr. Fulwe observed that there has been a tendency of graduates who just want to be employed by government, especially in the mines in Solwezi District. He says government has come up with empowerment programs which he feels graduates must apply to get the funds. And Nitro Earth Movers Training Center Director Administration Frank Perry challenged graduates to be catalysts for positive change as they venture into the world, saying the world needs their unique talents and skills.
And skills schools. To graduates, I want to say that, as someone said, when you graduate, you don't have to sleep waiting for a job, because this is a tendency for most of us Zambians and Africans. We want to be employed, especially in the mines. You've come at a very good time. There's a ministry that can further support you, not only CDF. You can come up with a company yourselves and begin to repair these heavy machineries. Create a company here in Solwezi that will cater for the whole province.
Remember that your skills are not merely a collection of facts, but a foundation for long life learning. Embrace curiosity, adaptability, and the courage to face the unknown. As you venture into the world beyond these familiar walls, I challenge you to be catalysts for positive change, whether in your chosen field, communities, or personal lives. Strive to make a difference. The world needs your unique talents, perspective, and compassion.
Governance and Development Advocates Zambia Executive Director Elias Mulenga has urged the youths to take keen interest in good governance and development taking place in the country under President Hakainde Hichilema's leadership. Mr. Mulenga says government of Zambia has shown political will to empower the youth through many developmental activities ranging from grants, bursaries, employment and loans. Mr. Mulenga says the move is an indication that President Hichilema is equal to the task in improving the livelihoods of Zambian youths. He noted that youths should learn from the past mistakes they have been making by allowing outsiders to engage or comment on Zambia's youths' affairs in a negative manner than providing solutions that the youths are faced with during this most difficult time.
We wish to urge the Zambian youths to take keen interest in the development of the nation, more especially that President Hakainde Hichilema has addressed and is still addressing the many challenges that the youth of Zambia is faced with. We have seen empowerment, employment, and bursaries, with many more things that have been given to the youths, which were part of the campaign promises. In the recent past, we have noted that some members of the international diplomatic corps have resorted into inciting the youths to start raising against the government, which is un-Zambian. We wish to appeal to these bodies, more especially the international community, to treat Zambia and respect Zambia, that it is a sovereign country with its own mandate to govern the nation basing on the constitution.
A 48-year-old man has been detained by police in Choma for allegedly moving cattle illegally from districts affected by anthrax disease to Choma. Fisher Mono of Makala area in Siamaundu village in Chief Choma's chiefdom is alleged to have moved the animals from Sinazongwe to a free disease zone in Choma district. Southern Province Veterinary Officer Dr. Wilfred Tembo confirmed the development in an exclusive interview with the National Agricultural Information Services in Choma. Dr. Tembo has further confirmed that the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock in Choma has destroyed the 2 cattle that were allegedly illegally moved from Sinazongwe's Mwemba village to Choma by the suspect. For details, here is Lawrence Kabutu of Nais in Choma.
A 48-year-old man has been detained by Choma police for allegedly moving cattle illegally from Sinazongwe affected by anthrax disease to Choma district. Fisher Mono of Makalakara area in Siamaundu village in Chief Choma's chiefdom is alleged to have moved the animals from Sinazongwe to a free disease zone in Choma district.
2 animals were moved illegally from Sinazongwe district, which is currently under ban. As you may be aware, Sinazongwe district has been hit by anthrax, so there is a ban on the movement of animals into and out of the district in order to contain the disease and prevent it from spreading. So one unscrupulous trader, he moved 2 animals from Sinazongwe into Choma district through Masuku veterinary camp.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock in Choma has destroyed the 2 cattle that were allegedly illegally moved from Sinazongwe's Mwemba village to Choma by the suspect.
The animals were destroyed by incineration as per our recommendation. As I speak now, the culprit is in police custody pending investigations as to the ownership of who the owner of these animals are.
Alert livestock farmers in Masoko area of Choma carried out a citizen's arrest of Fisher Mono as he was allegedly moving animals without any documents from the police and the veterinary department.
chokuandikana kuti aberekera anthu omwe kugwasha nkhulumende kutega ububulwa zitubulwa nekukwambana atuberekera anthu omwe kugwasha nkhulumende kutegwa nkhulumende tanoruzi mali pweterede kuruza mali.
Reporting, Lawrence Kabutu in Choma, Southern Province.
Mongu District Health Director Moffat Kasoka has called on stakeholders in Mongu District to take a leading role in the fight of malaria elimination in the district. Speaking during a stakeholder review meeting organized by the Cross Borders Initiative Anglican Diocese of Lusaka findings on malaria, Mr. Kasoka says the fight should not be left to the government alone, but should extend to all stakeholders. And Cross Borders Malaria Initiative Anglican Diocese of Lusaka Western Province Coordinator Monica Mvula urged community members to use mosquito nets for the intended purpose. More in the following report.
Malaria deaths have dramatically decreased in Zambia over the past 10 years, though more than 2,000 deaths are still reported annually. Mongu District in Western Province remains highly exposed to malaria despite the many interventions put in place by the government. And speaking during a stakeholder review meeting organized by Cross Border Malaria Initiative, Anglican Diocese of Lusaka findings on malaria, Mongu District Health Director Moffat Kasoka called on stakeholders to complement the government effort in the fight against malaria elimination in the district.
As a ministry also, with support from our partners, we are distributing nets. So we hope also, you also help us to really continue with this engagement and you make the grassroots really understand the program. So that the program is not looked at as a Ministry of Health program, neither is the problem looked at as a problem for the Ministry of Health. But when we have stakeholder engagement such as this, the stakeholders feel a part of the burden that we carry because we are doing it on behalf of them. And I therefore would like to urge that these stakeholder meetings should be top priority in our minds, top priority even as we interact in our communities, because this is the information that is going to go out there and is going to be very perfect.
And Cross Border Malaria Initiative Western Province Coordinator Monica Mvula has this to say.
Look at the data of the survey which was collected, we realize in some areas data or the effectiveness of the survey has gone down. We looked at the IPTP where we focus on the uptake for the pregnant women. It has really dropped from 94 to 53, which is a very big margin and it needs concerted effort from all partners. We realize there is less usage of ITA. Ownership can be there, but usage is less. So we are encouraging the community, now that we are about to distribute net, please, let's use the mosquito nets for the intended purpose.
Meanwhile, others who spoke are Induna Amwalana, Alan Karumiana of Longo area, among others.
Kwasi mulumbe nililanda ze mulumbe lani chwana ni manduna kambe kwa mbakaida manduna baba mkuli butuko bukusufade kai tuse ka miskito yena luka fumana nge kwale kuluna kule kisa msikito kumule kisa luka fali koto.
We compliment the work that the Ministry of Health does, and we want to reach a stage where malaria is eliminated. Begins to consistently and persistently get tested. So if they are found with malaria, they are treated, and once they are treated, they live a happy life.
For Camnet News, Museo Kavira reporting in Mongu, Western Province.
We'll take our second break. Join us for more news in international and sports news.
What if I never knew? What if I never found you? I never have this feeling in my heart.
Are you planning to marry or get married? Contact the Camnet Media team for a professional capturing of your big day in life. Let your relatives, friends, and the nation join you in celebrating your big day on television. Just at a manageable fee,
Camnet Television will cover and transmit your wedding on your channel of choice. Contact the marketing department on mobile number. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
I give my love to having home. And as far
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back. In foreign news, Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio declared a nationwide curfew Sunday after gunmen attacked the military's main and largest barracks in the West African nation's capital, raising fears of a breakdown of order amid a surge of coups in the region. The unidentified gunmen attacked the military armory within the Wilberforce barracks in the capital Freetown early morning, Bio said in a statement posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, adding that they were driven back by security forces and calm has been restored. The country's Ministry of Information and Education also said in a statement the government and security forces are in control of the situation. Here's a roundup of foreign news for more.
A military arsenal in Freetown, the capital of Sierra Leone, was subjected to an attack, prompting the government to enforce an immediate nationwide curfew on Sunday. Witnesses in the Wilberforce district, where the arsenal is situated, and near various embassies reported hearing gunshots and explosions. In response to the situation, Information Minister Cherna Ba reassured the public that government and security forces had everything under control. However, no information was provided regarding the identity or motives of the alleged attackers. Sierra Leone has been grappling with a political crisis since the presidential elections in June of this year. This incident adds to regional instability, with West Africa witnessing a series of military coups and attempts since 2020. Countries such as Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger and Guinea, which shares a border with Sierra Leone, have all experienced military takeovers. Madagascar's President André Joelina secured re-election in the initial round of a contested ballot marked by opposition boycotts, as confirmed by the Election Commission on Saturday. An opposition candidate has appealed to the High Constitutional Court to demand the annulment of the ballot. Public opinion is divided, with some happy with the re-election and others less inclined to believe that this election will in any way better the status quo. As citizens, we already knew that André Joel was going to be re-elected, so life goes on for us. Nothing changes. Whoever is re-elected, our life will be the same. We'll stay among the beggars. I am delighted that André Joel has been re-elected. He did some good things during his first term, and I was convinced that he was going to win. Mr. Rajoel obtained 58.95% of the votes in the November 16 election, subject to validation by the Constitutional Court. The turnout at just over 46% decreased from the 2018 election, attributed to a challenging political climate.
The negotiated ceasefire in Israel's relentless bombing of Gaza means some Palestinians are able to return to their neighbourhoods. But nothing looks or feels familiar anymore. Total annihilation of homes, communities, the complete destruction of the fabric of life here.
As you can see, thousands of residential units were destroyed. The same with other residential complexes in the north. Where to go? Where to sleep? This was my house, and now my family and I are homeless. Many are still buried under the debris. I cannot even pick some of my clothes from under the rubble to put on my back. However, we are not leaving. We're holding our ground. Even if I live in a tent, I will not abandon my homeland.
Many others said the same as they first laid eyes on their neighbourhoods. The destruction, absolute. People also taking advantage of the quiet skies to fill up their tanks. Life has been on hold here for more than 7 weeks. It's the third of a 4-day ceasefire, delicately negotiated by Qatar, Egypt and the United States to facilitate this. The second group of captives were released on Saturday night after an hours-long delay. 13 Israelis and 4 Thai nationals were handed over by Hamas to the Red Cross, who arranged their transfer to the Egyptian-controlled Rafah crossing, where they were then brought back into Israel. As part of the deal, the Israelis released 39 Palestinian women and children from their jails. In the occupied West Bank on Saturday night, crowds gathered to welcome them. Isra Jabez spent 8 years in an Israeli prison for a charge she denies.
My wounds are visible, and my struggles, I don't want to talk about them. The yearning for family, this is the price the prisoners pay.
On Sunday, a third exchange is expected. For now, the Palestinian death toll is on hold as people take stock of the extent of the destruction. But there is little relief here, as they wonder what will happen once the 4-day ceasefire comes to an end. Stephanie Decker, Al Jazeera.
And now in our sports news tonight, Oriental Quarries Boxing Promotions Operations Manager Christopher Malunga says the organization still has a budget deficit of 20% of the total budget for it to successfully host the African Boxing Union tournament next month. Malunga says he appreciates all the sponsors who have so far come on board and those who have shown commitment to sponsor the tournament. He says more stakeholders need to come on board to ensure the successful hosting of the event. Malunga further says boxing rings are outdated and a danger to the nation, the players and the fans. He has since challenged government through the Ministry of Youth and Sports to fulfill its pledge of procuring 10 rings for boxing tournaments in the country.
That after we announced the budget and everything, we saw the coming on board by Big Tree through Trade Kings with 350,000, and soon we'll be now announcing the coming on board of other sponsors who have made sure that they fulfill their pledge they promised to the promotion. And at the moment where we are, we have got a deficit of 20% of 680,000. That boxing is always hosted on the boxing ring, and that boxing ring which we are currently using is a danger. Is a danger to the nation, is a danger to the boxers themselves, the officials, including us, the sponsor, including the fans who are out of who are near that ring. Because the dangers are that that ring is out of, it's not a proper ring, it is outdated ring which has stayed more than 30-something years. It came 1992. How many years from 1992? So many years, 30 plus. And I feel that it is high time for government to purchase those 10 rings they promised, that they'll purchase 10 rings. My appeal goes to the Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, this ring, don't come and say you never told us. We have submitted so many quotations to the ministry, and we have told the Honorable Minister that we need some rings. This ring is outdated. My appeal goes to you and the PS. We are begging you, Honorable Minister, we are on your knees. This ring is a danger to the country. It will embarrass the country at a certain point.
That boxing note brings us to the end of our news tonight. Before we go to the top stories once again, Zambia Railways passenger train collides with a SINOMA truck. KAFUE Resource Center students stranded. Rural members of parliament demand more CDF allocation to their constituencies. In international news, Sierra Leone declares nationwide curfew after gunmen attack military barracks. In sports news, Oriental Quarries Boxing Promotions faces budget constraints ahead of hosting the African Boxing Union tournament. The Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of James 3 verse 16. For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you will find disorder and every evil practice. Thank you once again for watching Camnet Television News. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Good night.